Hello, everyone. Welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look at Gala. And just before we do, peek over at Bitcoin, see how awesome this is doing. Look at that. Nice little red candles. Sorry, I'm being facetious. But look, I mean, what, almost 10% in 12 hours? That's not terrible, right? No, that's typical Bitcoin. We're kind of expecting that. I hate to say I told you so, but the fact of the matter is we couldn't break 60,000. You could tell that it was kind of slowly losing and dying off. And hopefully you take my advice and start a dollar cost average. Set those limit orders closer to 54,000. I know I did, and I got a lot of fills this morning, ones I didn't expect. So it's really nice, especially with Ethereum too. So make sure you're adding to your positions with Ethereum as well. I think that one has more likelihood of 2, 3, 4x versus Bitcoin this year. Just my sentiment there. But regardless of that fact, Bitcoin is looking good, right? So when I say good, I just mean that it's good in the sense that it's right where it's supposed to be. It shouldn't progress much lower. We have a very strong support level right around 52,700, which is in this little channel. And that's from the previous high of El Salvador candle on September 7th. Okay, so that time frame there is going to hold. That's like the next major support level, and we're almost there, which is great. And I'm sorry to be excited about the price going down. I don't like to see all these red candles. I mean, look at this crap. Everything is red. There's 2 or 3 little anomalies, but everything's red, right? And that's the way it goes. But it's a better buying opportunity. Black Friday, hey, we all get a chance to be able to average our positions down. I hope you had some money set aside for this. So anyways, that's where Bitcoin is at. Normal stuff. Also, too, just a note, if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, right? I've just been trading for over 15 years, and my goal is to help you become a better trader. That's why I created this channel. I love teaching people how to trade, and it's kind of a really good medium for that. So I hope you learned something here today, and obviously comment below if you've learned something, or hopefully perhaps you're open to new ideas, right? That's the whole point here, is to make sure that you are more self-sufficient. I have a trading community designed for that specific purpose. Check that out in your own time. No more slots available this month, I'm sorry, but we are looking at adding a few slots next month as well. So just keep that in mind. The first would be the best time to register anyways, just based on how Patreon is. So looking at Gala here, let's go ahead and peek at the one-day chart and work our way down. So we can see kind of this slightly red candle. And when I say slightly, smaller time frame kind of reflects that we're kind of trending closer to about 76 cents. But right here, we're looking at about 72. So I think this channel here between 68 and 76 cents is a pretty standard area for the price to probably continue to consolidate for some time. That's my guess. And the main reason why I say that is because we had a really large candle wick yesterday. We got upwards about 83 cents. I know we took profits as a community at about 82, what I think it was right at 80 cents, as a matter of fact. I know a few people held a little bit longer, got kind of greedy, but they sold at 81, 82, right? But that's all well and good, but we took their profits. We hit our 80% profit from like 44 to 80 cents, and it worked out very well. However, we need to know what's going to happen next, right? We got this red candle. It's kind of forming as if it's going to want to turn around, but it responded very, very well to the sell-off here today. So we're going to see what's going on. Obviously, RSI is extended there, overextended. And big picture here, just a note, we got to be real with this. We are overextended as well. TD Sequential is basically telling us that, hey, we've had a consistent growth pattern here. We've reached a state of exhaustion. The price should have consolidated further here at about 40 cents, but it just kept on going, right? So we got to be real in the sense that there's a chance the price could continue to correct itself and come lower. And in fact, we don't know specifically how many whales are owning Gala at this point in time, and if they want to dump this, they totally can, right? But the fact of the matter is that it's doing very well today, considering how much everything else sold off, that I feel that Gala is probably going to stick around based on that sheer sentiment alone, because how well coins recover to Bitcoin sell-offs is a really good indication of how well they're going to continue in the future. We saw that with quite a few coins here recently where they tested support. Like I think Veracity, as a matter of fact, is doing really well right now. It bounced off that strong level of support and didn't lose its bottom, and it's supposed to have done so because it follows Bitcoin fairly close. Gala obviously is a different story, but you get what I'm saying there. The fact that it came down here, bounced off this nice support level right about 62 cents and came right back up is an excellent, excellent sign. So I'm still bullish on the long term here for Gala. I just think short term we might see a longer period of consolidation here soon, and that would be very, very helpful if we did see that, right? Because you can see it consolidated right here for about 12, 16 hours straight, and then try to continue upwards. Then it kind of hit this critical mass situation where it's like, okay, I've been on the overextended side again. In fact, let's see what. Yeah, see, here we go. TD Sequential basically telling us again, we had this overextended state. We are 1, 2, 3, 4 hours into this extreme state, and then of course it has to come back down. So hypothetically at this point, we might see at least another, what, 6 to 10 4-hour candlesticks worth of consolidation or retracement. So I don't think we're out of the woods yet. I don't think we're going to see Gala just shoot to the moon tomorrow. I mean, again, these coins will surprise the heck out of you, right? There's no true way to be able to anticipate it. But what I'm saying here is that we are at an exhaustive state on the 1-day candlesticks, and we just hit that here at the 4-hour. And we haven't had enough time to turn around, so I think there's a good chance that we're going to see some sideways action for a little bit of time before the next leg up, right? So not saying it's going to come crashing down, but I can confidently say, though, based on how well it's responded, look at this. It's tested this level 3 times. We've tested 62 cents 3 separate times, and it hasn't broke yet. And that is including a Bitcoin selling off at 10% in just 12 hours. So I think that's a very good sign considering how overextended Gala is in the big picture. It held very strong and very good in the recent past. And those are things that I try to look for long-term sentiment and long-term potential. And I think that Gala still has very good long-term potential in that regard, based on that thought process, right? All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at a couple other things and call it a day here. So the Ishimoku cloud, this is the one that I like to look at. And we can see that we obviously got the sell signal, right? So you see that the lagging span intersected with the price action that roughly, I don't know, that was what, 6 to 12 hours ago, somewhere in that range. That would have been a sell signal, right? So that's why you would have sold somewhere in this range here. That's why we took profits at 80 cents, because we ensured that we made sure to get out before the cloud told us to get out, all right? And then furthermore, we got this conversion line underneath the lagging span. That is not ideal. That is essentially considered to be a sell signal. So we've got 2 signals right now telling us not necessarily to sell our position, right? It just means that we should have sold our position a long time ago, is what it basically boils down to, which was yesterday when we took profits as a community, right? That's why we set realistic profit targets that are just below Fibonacci retracement levels. That being said, at this point in time, the conversion line is below, so we don't want to take entry, right? So we want to wait basically for this conversion line to be back above the baseline, and that would be a sign to potentially take entry, okay? So that's kind of how that works. So good news is we're above the cloud still. The price is still holding above the cloud. It's going to probably continue to work as a support level, and we should be in good shape. So the things we want to look out for is if the price were to kind of just say enter the cloud, no big deal. But if it comes down below and breaks this lower cloud, this lower lead, then we want to be a little bit concerned. And what's great about this is you can see the price comes down to this major support level at 62 cents and bounced. So hypothetically, the price travels into the cloud again, it'll bounce once more at 62 cents, right? So I feel very comfortable saying that 62 cents is the bottom for Gala in the immediate near future, okay? Obviously, things can happen. We got to look at it again later. I'll try to look at Gala again later today or tomorrow to kind of obviously analyze that. But at this point in time, Gala is looking pretty strong. And wouldn't be a terrible idea to consider dollar cost averaging closer to support levels of 69 cents and 62 cents. That would be my consideration. So highly recommend considering that. But at this point in time, don't feel like you got to sell or exit your position. Gala did very well in this recent decrease from Bitcoin. So I like it. I think it's really awesome right now. One last thing here, TD sequential, you can see we reached 9 as well. So that's kind of just reaffirming how TD sequential works. It counted all the way down to a 9. We hit that 9, we got that necessary reset, and the price came back up. The inverse traditionally applies too, right? It goes too high, comes down, and consolidates, and then recovers after that brief period of consolidation. So according to this sentiment here on the 1-hour chart, though, just keep this in mind, Gala does hypothetically have another 6 to 10 hours worth of consolidation and or increase. So we could see the price come back up to test this all-time high of roughly 83 cents. That is a possibility. I don't think it's very likely for it to break right away, but it could, right? So again, that's why we dollar cost average, just in case those things do happen. It's important to try to do that and not just put all your eggs in one basket. I get this question a lot too. I have a lot of my patrons trying to double their money quickly because, yeah, a lot of times I'll send out a signal and it'll hit 50, 60, 70% in just a couple of days. And obviously the more you put in, the better you're going to be. But don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? You cannot invest in just one coin alone. Diversify as best as you can and make sure that you know that you have, you're not stretching yourself too thin in one area. Because heaven forbid, Gala comes down to 30 cents in a couple of days because the whales decide to take all their profits. that would be a story for another day. That would be very unfortunate and a sad, sad thing. So again, dollar cost average, and make sure that this is not the only coin that you're investing in. Diversify as best as you can and ensure that you are always profitable. And that's how I stay profitable myself, because I take profits when I can. I respect support and resistance levels, and I always set profit targets. 3, no less than 3 every entry I take, right? If you are taking entry arbitrarily, just jumping in, jumping out whenever you feel like, you're doing it wrong, okay? Just some friendly advice from somebody who's been in the industry for a long time, and I've done it wrong before. That's why I say this. All right, so I care for you. I hope you found benefit in what you learned here today. One last thing to summarize. Best case scenario for Gala right now is still $1.12 in the immediate near future. And what I mean by immediate near future is the fact that it took Gala approximately 2 days to get to this upper, this 1.272 on Fibonacci. So, I mean, hypothetically, we could see Gala hit $1.12 in the next 24 to 48 hours. We can't rule that out. But what's important is for Gala to do a little bit more consolidation before it increases again, due to the simple fact that it got hit fairly hard. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but you look at that, that was a 25% decrease. That is a significant decrease in just a short amount of time, right? So you gotta respect the fact that it could very well, retrace again. But for right now, it recovered very well, much better than any other coin that I see right now in the market. And that is a sure sign of how well and how good Gala is doing. One last thing we want to look at, in fact, this reminds me, is the volume profile. There we go. That reaffirms it too. So if you see right there at 68 cents, a major support level for Gala. It's basically the Fibonacci retracement level of 0.786. That's proven to be a very strong support level once you break that plane. And basically, when we look at this here, we got the volume strong right in this range here between 68 and 76 cents. That's right where the price action is at right now. So again, the price being above that volume accumulation really helps us understand that we're on the right side of the fence, okay? In other words, I would say be careful if the price comes down below 68 cents and starts trending down there. We want to maybe consider adding a stop loss to be on the safe side, but I do think that ultimately Gala is here to stay. All right, thanks again. I appreciate you listening to me ramble. I know this is a bit longer than usual. I look forward to seeing the next video. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll cover this again soon.